Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition starter set box. They haven't done a lot of box sets in a while, probably since 2nd edition really. So it's kind of nice to see a return to the larger, higher quality boxes. But this is the starter set, aged 12 and up. For, small group. You can really play this with 2 people, I guess, but might be a little more challenging. But this is for the 5th edition, and I kind of want to check it out. This goes for about 20 bucks generally. If you paid more than that for it, it's probably out of print. But the retail price is 20. You can usually find it cheaper online. I bought this on Amazon, so I actually bought this specific one. Funny side story. This specific one was meant as a gift for my friend's kid, but my friend's wife decided that she didn't want anything with fantasy elements in it, so I have an extra. So we're gonna open it on video and show you what's inside. So let's get right into it. See what we got here for the 5th edition. I'm pretty impressed with 5th edition overall. I think it's a pretty decent system. I'm an old school 2nd edition guy though, so take that how you will. But let's see what we got here. Alright, so there's our dice. They're pretty decent quality dice actually. It's nice you get a set, of course. You'd need at least one set to play. But since this is really aimed at new players, if you don't already have dice, now you do. Alright, we've got a book. Oh, we got another book. We got some character sheets. We'll go through all this here in a second. One thing I didn't like is this waste of space. They really could have done without the pointless cardboard piece that kind of adds filler. I would have preferred actually like a little catalog or something instead of wasting the money on this cardboard thing. So let's move the box out of the way. Alright, character sheet. This one's already filled in. This is a fighter, 1st level. It's broken down by class and level. Pretty straightforward character sheet for any role-playing game. And it's got a little bit of background on the character and the class itself, which is really nice and very handy to have the information there so you don't have to pass the books around constantly, and it gives you something to do when you're bored because your DM stinks or something. Alright, then there's a wizard, there's a rogue, cleric, another fighter. The first one's a folk hero, this one is a noble. Now here's the catalog they get, or the informational sheet. Just a little advert for the website. And on the back is a blank character sheet, which of course you're going to want to photocopy so you can make new characters. I like the character sheet layout. Or I guess this is an encounter sheet, but whatever you want to call it, it's still a character sheet. I like the layouts for these sheets, and it's nice and clean, straightforward, and I would hope they would release like a pack of these because a lot of kids aren't going to want to download them and print them off, and I'm incredibly lazy, and quite frankly, as expensive as ink cartridges are, I'd rather just buy a pad of these. So I would have liked to have seen a product catalog, but they haven't released a whole lot of official material for this. They're not supporting it, in my opinion, like they should be. The books they are producing are high quality, but Hasbro's really kind of missing an opportunity here because with TV shows like Stranger Things referencing D&D, there's some interest in it still and some renewed interest, so I think they're kind of missing a potential sales mark with that. There's only a handful of books out for it right now, and I think they're really, I know they're a little gun shy after mistakes of the past sort of thing, but it'd be nice if they had some more supplemental materials and campaign settings. And I understand they want people to make their own things or get online and look at crap on their website, but I think they're missing the mark. So that's just me. Alright, so here's your starter rulebook. Enough of my ranting. This rulebook is actually laid out really well. I would have liked the pictures on these to be slightly different though, so, you know, like, put a different scenario on there instead of just zooming in. It's a little lazy. And then you're gonna, you know, when you're in the middle of playing, obviously this is the adventure, so the DM's gonna have that. But passing the rulebook around, you don't want to accidentally pass, oh, here's the adventure, you know, that'll go over well. But anyway, the book is laid out well. It's got some really nice color art. I thought the book was surprisingly useful. There's a lot of information in here, and it really does kind of get to the core of the game. It has different conditions, which a lot of this stuff is the stuff I wanted to see on the DM screen. You know, this stuff especially would have been great on the DM screen. Like blinded and charmed and frightened, grappled, prone, stunned. How about some spells? Oh look, there's a weapons chart. Know what that DM screen could have used? A weapons chart. But yeah, I'm still gonna complain about that chart. I think it's the stupidest DM screen I've ever seen. And I know I've gotten crap in the comments section for that, but you know what? I don't care. I think that was a poorly designed game screen. And there are better ones out there. The Storm Giant DM screen is significantly better, but we'll look at that in another video. So dropping to 0 hit points, it really covers all the basics you need to start playing the game. Obviously, it's going to make you want to buy the player's handbook, but that's okay. That you should probably buy the player's handbook anyway. But this is a great introduction set. The rules book is only 31, 32 pages, right around there. So yeah, 32. Pretty concise, really. They didn't split it up into a DM book and a player book this time, like they've done in previous introductory sets, which I'm a little surprised by, but because generally speaking, it is kind of nice for the DM to have their own book to reference. But it works out here. The paper quality is shockingly pretty good too. It's that slick glossy, but it's not as thin as I expected it to be when I first saw it. Now the Lost Mine of Fandelver, which is kind of a dumb name, I think, but I'm bitter and old, so the rules index is on the back here too, which is nice. That's handy. But the actual adventure is shockingly long. It's very detailed. The art's okay in it. It's good art, but you know, it's got the monster descriptions. There's a bugbear, you know, etc. So the monsters are all in the back, which is really convenient if you're trying to look stuff up. Obviously, you'll want to read through this before you play. But yeah, there's a lot more detail than I expected for an introductory adventure that used to just kind of give you like some afterthought one. But this really goes back to like the red box or the original before first edition D&D introductory box, where you got like the Keep on the Borderlands. This really goes back to that level of depth. I mean, look at there's a castle here, and there's a village here, so ruins rather. So it really gets a lot of locations in. There's lots of detail, some flavor text, different places to go. This is a multi-session module, which I really like. This is like an actual adventure modules, which they haven't really done any of in 5th edition so far, at least not officially. I know there were some transition ones, the D&D Next Sundering ones. Don't even try and pull that on me. That was a cheap marketing tactic, in my opinion, between 4th and 5th edition, because they're kind of dancing on the fence. But this is a much better module. If you don't have this starter set, you might want to get it just for the module. Because in my opinion, this is an actual module as opposed to just an introductory adventure. It's 60 some pages long, and it actually goes into pretty good detail. It's got information about awarding experience points, treasure, that sort of thing. I think it's pretty detailed. It does really kind of harken back to the older modules. It's not silly like those were, but I kind of liked some of those. But it really does kind of capture the feel of older D&D adventures. And it's not as lazy as some of the 3, 5, and 4th edition modules were that were, in my opinion, a little half-hearted effort-wise. This really goes back to the more depth-oriented ones with a lot more detail and things like that. So all in all, I am incredibly impressed with this box set. This is how D&D should be marketed, in my opinion. This is a great introductory set. The character sheets are really nice with the introductory characters. It's got all the information there. It's pretty self-explanatory. The adventure is pretty solid. I thought it was, when I first looked through it, I have another one of these, as I said. So I've read the module already, and I thought it was a pretty interesting adventure. The rules are really well done. It's well explained. There's not a whole lot of ambiguity. I think the rules lawyering is a little more toned down in this edition over previous editions. And it's a little more getting back to a sense of fun. But yeah, I think it's a quality box set. The dice are nice. They're good quality dice too. They're not garbage. It's a good box set. I recommend this one. Check it out. It's really cool box set to look into. So yeah, that's the D&D 5th edition starter set. So that's what's inside. And as always, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time on What's Inside.